Hi, this is Kevin with the Daily Forex Report for May 30th, 2010. Currently looking at the USD Japanese Yen pair. If you look, this pair has somewhat of an upward bias over the last 7 to 8 sessions or so, but the long-term bias is still downwards. Looking for this pair in the next session to go as high as 91.94 and as low as 90.00, which is a very strong level of resistance considering it's an even number. Look for some support around 91.46 and some resistance around 91.46 and some support around 90.96. Okay, moving on to the Euro USD pair. This pair has been back and forth in a couple of sessions with some pretty good movement, but the overall bias of this pair is actually downward. So in this coming session, look for it to go as high as 1.2475 and as low as 1.2053, with some support around 1.2219 and resistance around 1.2399. Alright, moving along to the pound US dollar pair. This pair is actually still moving pretty sideways over a pretty decent period of time, probably around 2 weeks. But we have had some pretty decent movement within the last couple of days. So this being only about an hour and a half into the new session, and we've got a pretty decent sized candle already. So we'll look for this pair to move around pretty nicely. But it's moving back upwards, which keeps us in the sideways movement. So the expected direction is sideways with a both long and short term bias of sideways as well. Look for this pair to go as high as 1.4583 and as low as 1.4233. With some support around 1.4367 and resistance around 1.4565. Alright, last but not least is the US Swiss pair. This pair continues its strong upward rally, but in the last couple of days, like all the other major pairs, it's actually gone pretty sideways, trading up candles for down candles. And even in this new session, we've already started our down candle, while last was the up candle. So again, both short and long term bias on this is sideways, but it could just be a stall in the ever growing uptrend that this pair has held over the past couple months. So during this next session, look for the pair to go as high as 1.1718 and as low as 1.1458, with some support around 1.1480 and resistance around 1.1625. Now, as far as the news announcements within this next session, we actually have the Memorial Day holiday. So the U.S. markets are going to be closed, as well as the European markets for a spring holiday. So I really don't expect too much volatility in any of the four majors within this next session. But on Monday morning actually, around 8:30 in the morning, we do have 8:30 Eastern, I should say. We do have the Canadian quarterly gross domestic product coming out. The previous was 5.0%, and the market forecast expects that to go to 5.6%. So anything that deviates when the actual number comes out, if it deviates any further away from the expected, then 0.25% or so, I'd look for that to actually move the Canadian pair quite a bit, considering that is a high volatility market mover. All right, let's switch over to this USD Japanese Yen daily chart. I want to actually point out something real quick. You'll notice that over the last, this downtrend line that I've drawn has about 3 or 4 points of contact on it actually. So it's actually a really strong area of resistance, and the support line is the exact same way. So they're pretty strong, but the current market sentiment, right, like the where the market currently is right now, is scraping this area of resistance. So what I'm looking to have happen is if we actually break above this, quite a bit above this actually, I'd say probably a good 50 to 100 pips above this level. Probably not that much. I'd say about 25 pips or so above this level. I would look for it to continue up and probably hit this trend line. The area of this trend line is 91.57 for this coming session, so you might be able to pull out 20-25 pips or so from the market. And if it does hit this, it might turn around and bounce back toward the bottom or continue up in a new trend. Not too sure, but provides a really good window of opportunity just to grab a couple of pips out of the market, and it presents a pretty good trade. So we'll keep an eye out for that in this coming session. And if it doesn't play out in this coming session, the trade will probably be good for one more session after that. So, well, that's it for today. So until next time, this is Kevin. Good trading.